in this station, we will see the palmar aponeurosis and the fiber flexors sheath and the arrangement of the tendons. After reflecting the skin of the palm, we immediately encounter this thickened structure of fascia. This is called the palmar aponeurosis. Palmar aponeurosis is thickening of the deep fascia of the hand, reinforced by fibers from the palmaris longus and transverse fibers from fascia of the area. It is triangular in shape with its apex attached proximally to the flexor retinaculum, and it has got slips that merge with the thenar and the hypothenar fascia, and distally it diverge into 4 lips, digital lips. Okay, so it's a triangular in shape. Its apex attached to the flexor retinaculum laterally and medially to the thenar and the hypothenar fascia, and 4 digital lips. The distal area of attachment of the palmar aponeurosis is a ligament called the superficial transverse metacarpal ligament. It is a ligament that attaches the metacarpal heads in the metacarpopharyngeal joint. So, superficial transverse metacarpal ligament. All right. After reflecting the palmar aponeurosis, we see this view. Immediately we find the superficial palmar arch and digital vessels and nerves. Then we will see the tendons and the thenar group of muscles and the hypothenar group of muscles. Now, let's see the flexor fibrous sheaths in the next specimen. The next structure that we would like to demonstrate in this station is called the fibrous flexor sheath. The fibrous flexor sheath is a tunnel, fibro-osseous tunnel, that provide a passage for the flexors tendons. Okay, so it's a fibrous that's attached to the metacarpal bones up to the distal phalanx that lodge the flexor tendon. Okay, in the 4 digits, it contains the 2 tendons of the flexor digitorum superficialis and the tendon of the flexor digitorum profundus. The flexor fibrous sheath starts at the metacarpopharyngeal joint, and it is composed of annular fibers and a cruciform fibers. The annular fibers is found at the metacarpopharyngeal joint, the middle of the proximal phalanx, in the proximal interphalangeal joint, and in the middle of the middle phalanx. In between the annular fibers, we find the cruciform fibers. So we have got 4 annular fibers, and in between them, the cruciform fibers. Inside the tunnel, we find the 2 tendons of the flexors of the fingers, flexor digitorum superficialis and the flexor digitorum profundus. Both of them are involved in one synovial sheath. regarding the arrangement of the tendons, as you can see here, the tendon of the flexor digitorum superficialis separates into two lips, and between them passes the tendon of the flexor digitorum profundus. The two lips of the flexor digitorum superficialis are attached to the base of the medial phalanx, while the tendon of the flexor digitorum profundus attached to the base of the distal phalanx. So, as the function, the profundus causes flexion of the distal interpharyngeal joint, while the flexor digitorum superficialis causes flexion of the proximal interpharyngeal joint. All right? This is all regard the fibrous flexor sheaths and the arrangement of the tendons inside it. Now, in the next station, we will see the muscles.